Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Love Apparel. In today's video, I'll be showing us how I went about the cutting and sewing of this beautiful stylish gown you saw on my thumbnail. So if this is what you're interested in, definitely want to keep on watching. And if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video. And let's get started. I'm using this pattern paper for my drafting. I've gone ahead to input my measurement. From my shoulder, I mark my chest line, my bust line, my half length, my hip line, my new line, and the length, full length of my gown. So I label my lines. I came in with 3 inches for my neck width and 3 inches for my neck depth. I curve it. I mark my shoulder measurement. I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I connect it to my neckline. From my neckline, I mark to connect with my chest line. I measure to get my midpoint, took off my chest line, took off my neckline. I divide my bust by 4 and mark plus 2 inch seam allowance. Then I come out with 1 inches and connect it back to my neckline. That's my shoulder slope. I divide my half length by 4 and mark plus 2 inch seam allowance. I marked it. I divide my hip by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance, and I connect the lines. On my new length, I mark 9.5 inches and connect the line from my hip to the hem of my gown. To get my bust spanned, I divide my nipple to nipple by 2 and mark. From my hip line, I came down with 5 inches. So I mark a straight line to connect with the 5 inches. I mark 0.5 on both sides and connect my darts. From my shoulder, I mark 13.5 for my under bust and rule the lines. So to get my under bust darts, I came out with 0.75 on both sides and I connect it to my darts. After connecting it to my dart, I blend it into my half line. So this is it for my new dart. At my bust, I came down with 1 inch for my dart, for my bust dart, and connect it to my dart line. So here I bring my French curve to curve just the way you saw it on my thumbnail. I curve the other side as well. So at my half length, I connect it just to give you that shape you saw by the side. So here is me drafting it to give me what I want. You can just take your time and do it. It's not what you rush. Just do it to get what you want. So after drafting it, I came in with 1 inch from my dart and blended it in. So we're making use of the new line. From my hip line, I came up with 2 inches. So I added extra half an inch on my neck, shoulder, and cut. Please ignore that line by the bust. Ignore this line. I just inputted it here, but it's not necessary. So here I've gone ahead to cut. So just watch the lines I'm cutting and do the same. So I cut the middle part as well. I cut my neckline and my shoulder slope. So that is it for our front pattern. Now let's go over and cut our back pattern. For our back pattern, I've gone ahead to input the necessary line I needed for it. So here I mark my neck depth and my neck width. I use 3 inches for my neck depth and my neck width I use 6 inches. I divide my shoulder by 2 and mark. I connect my neckline. The back has a V neckline, so I marked my neckline. I came down with 1 inches for my shoulder slope and connect it back to my neckline. I connect my shoulder line to my chest line and mark. I divide to get my midpoint and connect my shoulder slope and connect my shoulder slope. I divide my bust by 4 and mark plus 2 inch seam allowance. At my half length, I divide my half length by 4 and mark plus 2 inch seam allowance. I impute my knee length. From my shoulder to my knee length is 34. So I impute my knee length. I came in with 9.5 inches just as I marked at the front pattern. So from my half length, I connect to my hip line. From my hip line, I connect to the 9.5 inches down to the hem of my gown. For my back dart, I divide my nipple to nipple by 2. I came down from my half length with 5 inches and ruled the lines. So I came out on both sides with 0.5 inches and connect my dart. So let's go ahead and cut it off. I cut my half length. I cut my neckline, my shoulder slope, and label our zip. We forgot to include our zipper allowance. So on your fabric, don't forget to include it with 1 inches. So here it is. I've gone ahead to cut my front pattern there. That's the skirt pattern. And here is my back. Here is our back pattern plus 1 inches for the zipper. I cut and I split it open. So this is it for the back pattern. For the front middle part, I cut it. That is it. For the side part, I cut 2 pattern. So each side will face each side this way. That is it. For my back, I've gone ahead to cut and add my zipper allowance. For my front pattern, this is it. I've cut it. I cut it on fold. So I cut on fold. When you spread it, this is what you get. I marked my dart on my fabric. So on the machine, I will stitch it, the both dart. So I've gone ahead and sew it. My neck, I turn it with another fabric, both the back. This is the back. I've turn it to another fabric. So here I'm going to join front facing front. So this is the front and the back, and I will stitch it this way. So I've gone ahead and stitch the back and the front, and I added my zipper allowance as you can see it on my fabric. So this is it. After sewing it, I will iron it and use hemming gun for the inner. I've gone ahead to cut my sleeve and attached it. This is it on me. I beaded it, but I didn't video it while beading it. So if you got value from this video, please subscribe, like, share and comment. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.